Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. No one.
We're on Heritage 107.3 FM in Hohoi and Freedom 88.1 FM in Sugahopa. In the northern region, we're on Radio Gaki 88.3 FM in Sabuba. In the Upper East, we're on Quality 88.7 FM in Garu. And in the northeast region, we're on Nobia FM 98.1 FM in Nalerigu.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Grateful for your time this afternoon. Settle for the details of our stories now. The family of a man in his 30s alleged to have died while in police custody earlier this month is seeking justice for the deceased. The late Felix Azigboji's family claims he was arrested for his alleged involvement in a car snatching incident in Ho. The family and the local community are urging the Inspector General of Police, IGP, and other relevant state agencies to thoroughly investigate the matter and ensure justice for the family. Charles Agbeva, the Member of Parliament for the area, in a Citi News interview says transparency is essential, urging the police to address the situation promptly.
What baffles me is the attempt by the police to hurriedly get this boy buried by the family without following proper due processes. I have been adequately informed that physical examination of the body of the boy at the morgue reveals this fact: a perforated right eyeball with a deep hole, twisted neck, a broken front teeth, swellings, lacerations, broken bones on both legs, blood cuts, several wounds. If this is not murder, torture, I don't know what it is. And so for me, I'm calling for the IGP to step in, cause an investigation to let us unravel what led to the murder of this innocent boy. Just a proper postmortem be done for the doctors to tell us the nature of the death. We are seeing it visible on the body. Maybe the doctors could tell us more. Then with these results, the police, Inspector General of Police, who is doing his best, to weed out bad nuts in the system and give the police a good name, institute an investigation immediately for us to have what happened to the guy before anything like burial or sitting down with the family is even thought of.
Charles Agbefe is MP for Agoti-Meziokwe in the Volta region.
Now, a former finance minister, Dr. Kwabena Dufo, has advocated for the abolition of the electronic transfer levy, commonly known as e-levy, for failing to generate the expected revenue. The e-levy, introduced at a rate of 1% on January 11, 2023, is aimed to enhance domestic tax collection and broaden the tax base. Despite these intentions, the levy has not met its revenue target since inception. Notably, in April 2022, mobile money subscribers experienced a decline of 300,000. Dr. Kwabena Dufo suggests that the failure to meet the projected revenue should prompt a reconsideration of the levy's continuation.
Spent too many months talking about that policy. If it had been so low, maybe at the beginning, say 1%, we have succeeded. And we spoke so much about it, but so many months arguing.
So the original design was not correct, and then the length of time discussing did not help. It gave the e-levy a bad name.
It was true, yes.
Do you think the government should keep it or completely scrap it?
E-levy?
Yeah.
Are we getting enough from it?
I don't know.
Are we?
The government should be answering that question.
If we're not getting enough, it's a nuisance tax. We should scrap it.
On politics, Dr. Kwabena Dufo disclosed that if the National Democratic Congress (NDC) regains power, he intends and impose penalties on individuals or entities that disregard tax payment obligations. He has said that this approach is essential for achieving the desired revenue goals for the country.
Are you complying?
I pay my taxes.
I mean,
I work hard.
Ghana as a whole, are we paying our taxes? Why are we not able to mobilize enough to manage our country? If you go to other countries, when it's time for filing of tax returns, people line up, they queue to file. Do we see that in Ghana?
Why do you think that's the case?
Indiscipline.
Indiscipline?
Indiscipline. You know that we manage the country with taxes. Yet you don't have to pay your tax.
How will an NDC government crack the tax problem?
We apply sanctions.
New ones or the existing ones? New sanctions, because there are lots of...
No, when we get to power, we look at taxes and then apply sanctions.
A former finance minister, Dr. Kwabena Dufo, speaking there with Citi TV's Bernard Avle.
Now, the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CTAG, has appealed to the National Labour Commission, NLC, to intervene and prevent the Ministry of Education from withholding the August salaries of its members. This action comes in response to a directive from the Education Ministry issued through the Ghana Education Tertiary Commission to freeze the salaries of CTAG members for the month of August due to their ongoing strike. The strike, initiated on August 1, is a result of the government's failure to fulfill certain conditions of service agreed upon in May of this year. CTAG's National Secretary, Thomas Ampoma, expressed optimism that a forthcoming meeting with the NLC next week could potentially resolve the current deadlock.
We are not actually asking NLC to compel government to do anything of that sort, but we are only asking that they should stop the minister from going ahead to take our salary for August. That they are saying that we have not worked in August, so they are not paying us. They did not ask us to call off the strike. Last 2 weeks, we met at the Labour Commission last week. We are supposed to go there next week to meet them together with the government. They gave us 30th. So we have written to report the directive from the ministry to actually not pay us for August. So when we go on the 30th, then that issue will come up for discussion. When we go, they have asked the government to come and show evidence of implementation of their orders. So after we have done that and the commission has been satisfied with that, we will also put that application forward that they have ordered for the seizure of our salary for the month of August.
You heard the National Secretary of CTAG, Thomas Ampoma.
A first-year level 100 students at the University of Ghana, Safina Mohammed Aziatu, has entered a plea of not guilty in the murder case involving Frank Kofi Osei, a Ghanaian residing in Canada. The accused, officially charged with murder, asserted her innocence during her appearance at the Adenton District Court. She maintained that she was not present at the location where her boyfriend was fatally attacked. The victim, Frank Kofi Osei, was brutally murdered in July 2022 at Ashalibotwe School Junction during a visit to Safina, his girlfriend. He was allegedly subjected to multiple stabbings and strangulation. Following the preliminary proceedings, Safina Mohammed Adziatu will be tried for murder at the High Court in Accra on September 18, 2023.
Now, an arrest has been made in relation to the improper disposal of sewage into drains at the Tesano Palace hostel. The individual taken into custody is a receptionist at the hostel, apprehended during routine inspections conducted by a task force from the Okaikwe North Municipal Assembly. The receptionist, identified as Elijah, denied the accusations and mentioned that the hostel's manager is currently abroad.
He's not around. Yeah. So have you informed him? Yeah, I've informed him. And where? I've sent the letter to him. Where is he? And even given him the number of the letter. So they told me they'll proceed with it. I don't know how far they I was there when they came to pick me up. They only came there. That was last week with a letter, and they called me out to come and have a look at it.
You heard a receptionist of the Tesano Palace Hostel who has been arrested in connection with the discharge of sewage into drains. Meanwhile, the suspect has been sent to the Achimota District Court to be prosecuted.
Now, the Ministry of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs is set to resume its Christian pilgrimage to Israel, with the first trip scheduled from September 22 to September 30 this year. The pilgrimage, initiated in 2017 but halted due to the COVID-19 pandemic, aims to provide Christians with a chance to visit Israel's holy sites and deepen their religious faith. Richard Obingboafo, the head of religious affairs at the ministry, outlined the procedures for the pilgrimage in an interview with Citi News.
We have an application form online via our website, which is the Ministry of Chieftaincy website, mcra.gov.gh. When we submit, we have a screening committee in place that will screen the applicant. One will have to pay 600 Ghana cedis or $50 for the screening processes. If you are successful and you go through the screening process, you will have to pay an amount of $3,450 or the cedi equivalent, the prevailing exchange rate. And when you pay that amount, it covers your flight, your accommodation, your meals, the access to the tour facility, souvenirs, and then travel insurance. Persons come in as a group, the management will consider the cost, reducing the cost for them if persons come in as a group.
You heard there the head of religious affairs at the Ministry of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Richard Obingboafo.
Now, members of the New Patriotic Party, NPP, in the Kwadaso constituency are steadfastly backing their former Member of Parliament, Dr. Owusu Yakutu, as their favoured candidate for the party's flag-bearer position. According to them, their support remains unwavering, even though the incumbent Member of Parliament's recent endorsement of a different candidate. The NPP members in Kwadaso, which include polling station executives and coordinators, are resolute in their confidence in Dr. Akutu's leadership within the party. Ernest Frimpong, a polling station executive from the Kwadaso constituency, urged party delegates to vote for the former Food and Agriculture Minister during the NPP's upcoming Super Delegates Conference.
About what our MP will say or what our constituency chairman or anybody will say. They have their way, they have their choice, but we also have our way to take decisions for ourselves. The record speaks for itself. Dr. Joseph Yakuto is the best performing agri minister in the Fourth Republic. In 2021, the agri sector grew around 8.4%, and it is unprecedented in the history of the Republic. I'm not saying that. The facts and figures are there to demonstrate for everybody to see. And this is the reason why we are saying that Dr. Yakuto is a competent and he can lead the party and replant our party. You see, this contest that we are going in is about what you have done for the party, what you did in office, and your vision for this country and the party. And Dr. Osofia Koto has demonstrated in all angles that he's competent in all angles to serve our party in this country. He has given us a classical example of countries that are practicing and it's working for them. I spoke about the ANC of South Africa, which is the most common political party all of us can bear with the RPD at Rwanda. They all have practiced it and it is working for them. It's linking the party to the government. And this is a very essential thing and an innovative thing. Now when it comes, it's going to help the party. And it's going to help the delegates in this country.
You had a polling station executive in the Kwadaso constituency, Ernest Frimpong. We're joined in studio by my colleague Sami Uyafe. He's here to speak to us about a statement that has been released by the party ahead of this weekend's Super Delegates Conference. Sami, many thanks for joining us. What has the statement been saying?
Thank you very much, Omar. Good afternoon. A statement issued by the party and signed by William Amwa, who is the secretary of the Presidential Elections Committee, states that the protocol measures for the Special Delegates Congress, which is happening on Saturday. A 13-point bullet, 13-point statement, and I'll run you through some of the most important ones. It says, it is important to reiterate that the committee has entrusted the entire electoral procedure to the Electoral Commission with the primary responsibility of ensuring a transparent, fair, and free election. Furthermore, the exclusive oversight of security matters rests with the police, and access beyond security parameters is strictly prohibited by any delegate, aspirant, committee members, or other representatives or agents of the aspirant. It continued that we kindly remind delegates to carry their identification cards to verify their names at the initial security checkpoints. The fourth point says, moreover, all regional executives committee are kindly requested to suspend any previously planned program, including but not limited to workshops, training, extended meetings, retreat, residential retreat, or any other event involving delegates such as campaign during this particular election until this whole election is over. It says, in adherence to legal protocols, delegates are strongly advised to confirm all electoral laws, regulations, and rules on Saturday, August 26, 2023. Now, it says, we wish to emphasize that capturing images of cast ballot is strictly prohibited and constitute a breach of the electoral regulations warranting punitive action. It is essential to know that publicly displaying cast ballots constitute a criminal offense. We hereby serve notice that those who violate this provision shall be subjected to legal prosecution in accordance with the law. Delegates are hereby informed that any cast ballot publicly displayed will be rejected. It continues. It says, we wish to further emphasize that there will be no Congress on the day of voting, and voting will strictly be walk-in. Considering this, it is anticipated that there will be no provision for public address or occasion for any party executive, government representative, or regional executive to publicly address delegates on the day of voting. We wish to reassure all relevant parties, including stakeholders, delegates, aspirants, and the public, that the guidelines put in place by the party to ensure a free and fair election will strictly be used. There is no special accreditation for the media and observers. The police will facilitate the movement of everyone at the various voting centers. And it finally says, we wish to reiterate once again that this particular committee has worked to ensure a free, fair, and transparent election on Saturday. Signed, William Yamwa, Secretary, Presidential Committee, Election.
Well, thank you so much for that. That was my colleague here at Citi FM, Citi TV, Sami Uyafe, and he's been running us through a statement that was released by the NPP ahead of the weekend Super Delegates Conference. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News live from our studios at Adabraka in Accra. Still to come in the bulletin, Ga East Municipal Assembly moves in to fix deteriorating Agbogba Causeway Down Road in response to concerns raised by residents. We'll bring you details of this and others shortly. Do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
The grand finale of the Literacy Challenge 2023 is here. Congratulations to our top 10 finalists. But the big question is, who out of our top 10 wins the ultimate prize of 10,000 Ghana cedis, a trophy, 6-month supply of Ribby Crunchy biscuits, and the bragging rights as the Literacy Challenge winner for 2023? Support your favorite student and let's promote literacy in Ghana. Tune in live to Citi TV for the grand finale on Saturday, 7th October 2023. Call 0558-973-973 for inquiries. The Literacy Challenge 2023 is powered by Citi TV, supported by 97.3 Citi FM, and is sponsored by the Ghana National Gas Company, Ribby Crunchy Biscuits by M4 Foods, SIC Insurance PLC, Perspectives Ghana Limited, Dex Technology, Alive Soap, and Fortune Rice.
Ajwapa, what's all this condom business? Oh, I've told her over and over again that she won't get pregnant, and she's still insisting. Oh, isn't she the same person who said we would not have sex till we go out for at least 2 years? For all this time? Oh, and she still can't trust me enough? Ama, when I try to do something small, no, condom this, condom that. So handsome man like me, she probably thinks I have HIV.
Using a condom will protect you and your partner. Condoms are effective for protection against a wide spectrum of STIs and HIV infection. Don't take risks. Use a condom every time. Always come prepared.
This advert is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission.
This is Ghana Exhibition 2023 is drawing closer and closer. Come and experience the biggest 2-day trade fair and exhibition for local SMEs, startups, research and manufacturing industries, homegrown businesses and indigenous corporate bodies Ghana has ever seen. Citi TV and Citi FM will allow you to immerse yourself in a vibrant showcase of authentic Ghanaian products and services at the biggest trade fair and exhibition. Join us as we promote, support and patronize various Ghanaian products, solutions and services from innovative agricultural practices, renewable energy solutions, manufacturing industries, and the ingenuity and resourcefulness of Ghanaian entrepreneurs. It's this weekend, 26th and 27th of August 2023 at 10 a.m. each day through till 5 p.m. It's going to be at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. And if you're just hearing this, call us now on 0205-973-973 for inquiries on how to participate. The This is Ghana exhibition is powered by Citi TV and Citi FM and proudly sponsored by MTN Mobile, Nalo Solutions, Pan-African Savings and Loans, SMV Ghana, and EK Brand Consult.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Now, the father of the late Eunice Amena has voiced his dissatisfaction with the way his daughter's murder case has been handled by the Teshi Nungwa District Court. Report indicates that Eunice Amena was allegedly murdered by her husband on May 3, 2023. Her husband, identified as Isaac Newton, has been undergoing trial from May 3, 2023 until June 13, 2023. In an interview with Citi News, Michael Nath, father of the deceased, expressed his dissatisfaction with the proceedings of the court. He expressed hope for a favorable outcome in the upcoming hearing scheduled for August 28, 2023.
So the last time we went, the new judge also asked us to press on documents before they proceed with the issue. So they asked us to come the 28th of this month. I still learn the report is in latest, so I don't know if it will come or not. If you see the whole thing is boring. I don't understand issue that my daughter has been killed, and we don't have any issue there. If ours is just to come and witness the court judgment. We don't have anything to say. We don't have any discussion to discuss with the police. Or we just go there and witness whatever will go on. No one is saying it to us. The judge, what the judge says, what the prosecutor will say, we just sit and then see that they postpone it to another time. I don't know the whole issue. there should be a mediator, so that after the court sitting, they will tell us that this is what the lawyer and this is what the judge has said. This is what is going on. But we don't know anything. We just go and sit down and watch all that we hear and different.
You heard father of the deceased, Michael Na.
Well, now you recall that residents of the Agbogba Causeway Down Road earlier complained about the deteriorating nature of their roads. Yeah. And they also complained that their assembly had not supported them, even though they tried to patch the road to make it a bit more tolerable.
Exactly.
Well, in response to this story, Citi News brought to the fore the Ga East Municipal Assembly has taken some steps to make the road much more tolerable. So Citi News' Christopher Kevin Asime visited the area again and filed this report read to you by my colleague Eno Safo.
Part of the ECOWAS road network, the Agboba Causeway Down Road, serving as a crucial link between Pokwase and the motorway, has suffered neglect over time. Despite their efforts to garner support for road repairs, the residents, faced with no alternative, pooled resources through association contributions and embarked on a self-funded road enhancement initiative. However, the Ga East Municipal Assembly, recognizing the Causeway Down Road as part of its road redevelopment plan, has intervened to complement the residents' endeavors. The Ga East Municipal Assembly's public relations officer explained that while the assembly had already commenced road reshaping projects within the municipality, the residents' proactive steps prompted them to temporarily halt other ongoing works in the vicinity.
We have major roads in the municipality, and as you are aware, the assembly cannot do the actual road construction. I mean, do it and tie it as we all want to see. But from time to time, we do go to these roads and the community wants to and reshape it so that it will be motorable for all of us plying the roads. We've worked on this road before, but as you know and you can see, whenever it rains, you can grade it today. It rains this night, tomorrow it looks like you've not done any work on it. It's a periodic thing we do, it's routine. We do go around and reshape. But of course, it's also dependent on funds. You see, we rely on our internally generated funds to do this work. And if it is not forthcoming, it's become so difficult for the assembly to undertake such exercises. The plan is to extend it to the main road, that's the Agbogba Causeway Police Container side. But as I said, it's dependent on funding. That is the plan. We plan to do the whole stretch. So you see some work being done now. We're praying we will be able to get the necessary funds to reach the main road. A month ago, we got back our grader, which had been at the shop for a long time. It went to Adenkrebi to work there, and it broke down. And we had hoped we could fix it and then resume these routine maintenance work. But it hasn't come back. So we had to rely on a private operator. You know, the residents associations we have in the municipality, we have over 70 of them. And the kind of work they do, self-help projects, they engage in, it's laudable and it's beyond your comprehension. What we can say is that the assembly is not reneging on its responsibilities, but we also know that they are there to help the assembly. So we are very much grateful for the efforts, the initiation, and then we are continuing. As I said, it had already been planned. Should I say it's coincidence? But we are working on it. That is the most important thing, that we are working on it, and we are assuring them that we will do it to where it's supposed to end, so that they will have some kind of peace. They will live at peace, and we also come here happily going around taking our revenue.
In a conversation with Citi News, Vice Chairman of the Causeway Down Residents Association, Edward Boateng, expressed disappointment with the Assembly's intervention, expecting more. He also encouraged businesses and organizations in the area to follow the example set by the Residents Association and contribute to the community's betterment as part of their corporate social responsibility.
When I saw the grader coming, tears started coming out of my eyes, and I asked myself, so these guys, when we called them and they told us that they don't have the grader, they could have rented one for us. And now we spend almost about 40,000 Ghana Citi on this road, right? So, how can they treat, citizens like that? I don't think it's fair, So now, all the money that we have spent here gone waste. So are they going to refund the money to us? They've brought it, but I'm still not happy. Because they didn't do what we were expecting, and now, because we brought it on the telly, they are in a rush here to show people that they can render their service. It's wrong. As I said first, right? They need to be fired and bring people who can do their job. And I think they don't respect us. They don't respect us. And, we will take them on. We'll take them on. We will make sure that, something better is done. Or they have to take them out of that office. You see the bridge, right? Is in bad shape. So we've decided we have to buy more stones, put it on, and lift the bridge up, because the tipper trucks using it are causing them a whole lot of mess to it. And very soon we know that it's going to collapse. It's going to collapse. So we are planning on how to, get funds to fix it. Because right now I'm talking of people are sending more money. Hey, now you guys should keep going, because they've seen that we've done something good for them, So the government or whoever is at the assembly, and they are ashamed that we are doing their job for them.
Residents who engaged with City News highlighted the pressing need for increased attention to the area and appealed for further commitment from the assembly.
Basically, there should be roads. There should be, a proper layout for the area. And then the linkages and everything should be there before houses can be built properly. Because if somebody is building a house here and there are no drains, obviously you are asking him to drop his waste, on the roads, and that's not proper. So there should be, layout should be made nicely with the drains and everything fixed. So when you build, you're building, then you direct all your waste into the drain. So essentially, we haven't been doing what we are started to do, and it's so sad, because we have all traveled all over the world and seen how these things have been done. So for us to come back only, to our own, domain, and then begin to ignore, the basic elements that has to, proper development, urban development. It's so sad.
That report was filed by Citi News' Christopher Kevin Asima and read by Eno Safo.
We'll go to the Volta region, where farmers in the Agoti-Meziope district are grappling with the recurring problem of excess produce and a lack of viable markets, resulting in significant financial setbacks. This ongoing challenge has started to discourage the youth from engaging in agriculture, as the losses incurred are discouraging. Citi News' correspondent in the Volta region, Benjamin Aklama, visited some farms in the Agoti-Meziope district and comes through with the following report.
Paid a visit to one of the tomato farms in the Agoti-Meziope traditional area. This is a 10-acre farm which has some of its yield wasting away due to the lack of market. Fortunately for this farmer, some 2 trucks have visited the farm this morning to buy tomatoes. But let me help you appreciate how much it costs to run a 10-acre farm like this and what the loss possibly is. So for a 10-acre farm like this, it would cost you about 500 cedis to plow an acre. So for 10 of that, that's about 5,000 Ghana cedis to plow. And then you would notice that the tomatoes is on ridges, not on the bare floor. So these ridges cost about 50 cedis to mount for a 12 by 12 piece of land. That's how they do the measurement here. So 10 of that would make an acre. So for 10 acres, that's about 100 pieces of 12 by 12 piece of land, and that would give you about another 5,000 Ghana cedis just to mount the ridges. So 10,000 cedis gone so far. Then you buy the seed, and the seeds are in cans of 50 gram, the hybrid seeds. Now one can is about 700 cedis now on the market. 2 of those cans would give you an acre's worth of tomatoes. So for each acre, it's about 1,400 Ghana cedis. For 10 acres, that's about 14,000 Ghana cedis. Plus the land preparation in the region, you are counting about 25,000 Ghana cedis already. Now, you have to now transplant the nursery onto the field. It costs about 40 cedis to transplant the seedlings from the nursery beds onto the farm. So for a 10-acre farm like this, it will cost about 4,000 cedis to transplant the tomatoes onto the field. So we are counting about 30,000 so far. After about a month into the production, they will have to dig the furrows onto the ridges so that the ridges become taller and support the crops better. That will also cost you about 40 cedis per each 12 by 12 piece of land. 10 of that would make an acre. 10 acres would cost you about 4,000 Ghana cedis. So we are counting about 34,000 going. Then you now buy all the chemicals, the weedicides, the pesticides, the fungicides, the nematicides, you name them, so many of them, plus the fertilizer. That should also be amounting to about 20 to 25,000 Ghana cedis. That combined, you are not doing anything less than 60,000 Ghana cedis to run a farm like this. To see their money waste away like this should be a bad situation, but this happens almost every year. The question is, why do they keep doing? Let me engage the farmers and find out how they're dealing with the situation. So please tell me your full names. Let me start with you.
I'm Rich Fonuta Kodolali.
Okay. You are...
I'm a farmer and I happen to be the secretary to the Farmers and Marketers Association.
All right. Please tell me your name as well.
I'm Wisdom Keteku, a farmer.
Yeah, farmer. Beautiful. So this year, how has your farms been? Let's start it from there.
It was a very hectic one, of course, because of the cost of farm inputs. So the cost involved was very rich, and actually we are type of farmers who actually rely on natural rains. So as it is, we thought the market will come by. As it stands now, they are buying it at a low cost. A full crate is costing 250 Ghana cedis. Even they are not buying it for some people because the market women usually says the seed is not good and they find some certain mistakes, so they buy some 200, 150.
So why are you not producing? Let me come to you. Why are you not producing the kinds of seed that the market women want to buy?
Usually, as my brother said earlier on, because it is a rain-fed agriculture, climate factor play a role in cultivating of the tomato and other vegetables. We practice the hybrid, and it will not work better at our place over here. So we call on researchers to come and research more into various varieties of the tomato crops, so that we can get better crop yield in future.
So you mean you've tried the hybrid seeds? It didn't work very well over here. Yeah. Okay, but are you achieving the yields? Are you getting the yields with the current varieties that you are planting?
Yes, please. As for that one there, yes. But usually they complain that it doesn't last in the market as such because according to the hybrid, it can last for over a week. But in our in case of our local breeds, 3-4 days, then it started rotting. Yeah. But as for the yield there, we are getting it. Yeah.
At first, we were demanding for tomatoes factory, but this has not come. So this time, we were thinking if someone or some company can come and buy this product for the farmers to help them, since there is no means for this factory. And I would like to advise my people not to even cultivate so much, because tomatoes now in the country, we hear that some other traditional areas and some regions have been plowing. So I urge them not to extend their farms like that, because there is no factory for products.
We are aware. The assembly is much aware. And we are doing everything possible to solve the problem. We are, at the moment, there's a project, a construction of one cool room. So we'll make sure that cool room is completed, so that we'll be keeping the tomatoes there.
You can see this is a truck that has come to buy tomatoes. Hitherto, this period, you'll see several trucks with crates like this demanding to buy tomatoes. Not in today's times, because tomatoes is all over, it's popular all over the country. But I give you 2 months and you'll struggle to find tomatoes even in this area. The solution probably lies in a sustainable way of preserving tomatoes for future use. For Citi News, my name is Benjamin Aklama. Ziopi.
And back in Accra in the studios of Citi FM and Citi FM at Adabraka, I am Wilma Obubisa Coleman here with Caleb Kuda. Still to come in the bulletin, with less than 48 hours to the biggest trade fair, Citi FM, Citi TV's This is Ghana exhibition. We'll hear from some exhibitors on their expectations.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Happy birthday to you.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Throughout all life-changing moments such as graduations, weddings, funerals, birthdays, ATL is there to ensure you're never out of style. When you think fabric, think ATL. Log on to atlfabrics.com. Order and buy your favorite ATL fabric. You can also visit our shop at number 40 Kwame Nkrumah Avenue, opposite the Swansea Shopping Arcade at Accra Central. Also available in leading fabric dealer shops in Accra, Kumasi, and Cape Coast. ATL, bringing fabric to life.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Yeah, welcome back. Now, to address the fraud involving foreigners in the Ashanti region, the Ghana Immigration Service has established its inaugural document fraud office in Kumasi, the regional capital. The surge in the foreign population with the region has sparked concerns about the need for stringent verification to authenticate their activities. With the establishment of this document fraud office, the Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osei-Mensah expressed confidence in resolving challenges associated with the activities of foreigners in the area. He drew attention to the significance of this initiative, especially given ongoing developments such as Kumasi International Airport and the Buankra Inland Port projects.
Now, in a shocking case that has gripped the city of Wa in the Upper West region, 4 out of 12 children who were allegedly defiled by a 35-year-old man have been confirmed to have suffered distress and abuse. The details emerged as a medical officer from the Wa Municipal Hospital took their stand on Tuesday to testify in the ongoing trial. Citi News' correspondent Latif Mahama has been following the proceedings closely and brings us this report.
The distressing news was confirmed by Dr. Alhassan Mohammed Mubarak, a medical officer from the Wa Municipal Hospital, who testified before His Honor Jonathan Avogo. Similar to his testimony on Tuesday, Dr. Mubarak revealed that all 4 victims have tragically lost their hymens due to multiple sexual penetrations. However, the accused person, Ahmed Rashid, maintains his denial of any involvement in the heinous acts that have generated unusual public outbursts within the Wa Township. Despite the emotional testimonies of the victims, he steadfastly refused all allegations of defilement and attempted defilement. This trial, which has gripped the Wala community, involves a total of 18 counts of defilement and attempted defilement. The victims, young children aged between 9 and 15, courageously testified against their alleged perpetrator. The court proceedings have shed light on the traumatic experiences the young souls have endured. In a significant turn of events, the trial of the 4 cases which were heard on Wednesday has been adjourned until August 29. However, Ahmed Rashid is scheduled to appear in court on Friday, August 25. On this day, he will cross-examine a police investigator who is expected to provide crucial testimony in various counts. As this shocking case unfolds, the nation remains vigilant, seeking justice for the innocent victims and accountability for those responsible.
Reporting for Citi News, my name is Latif Mahama. Wa.
You're still listening to the Citi Prime News live from our studios at Adabraka. Now, some stories we've been bringing you so far. Former Finance Minister Dr. Kwabena Duffuor has called for the scrapping of the electronic transfer levy as it's not raking in the expected revenue. Also, family of a man alleged to have died in police custody earlier this month, they are demanding justice. And the Ga East Municipal Assembly, they have moved in to fix deteriorating Agboba Causeway Down Road in response to concerns raised by residents. Also, the news is you are listening to us across the country on a number of affiliate stations. In the Western region, we're on Adrimpa 100.7 FM in Takwa and Beach 105.5 FM in Takrade. In the Bono region, we're on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyai. In the Ashanti region, we're live on Adrimpa 99.9 FM in Inkarie. In the Volta region, we're on Heritage 107.3 FM in Hohoi and Freedom 88.1 FM in Sogakope. In the Northern region, we're on Radio Gaki 88.3 FM in Saboba. In the Upper East region, we're on Quality 88.7 FM in Garu. And in the Northeast region, we are on Nobia FM 98.1 FM in Nalerigu.
Now, the SDG Advisory Unit at the Presidency has expressed concern over Ghana's failure to meet its targets for achieving the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs). The SDGs serve as a global framework for addressing various critical issues by the year 2030. During the launch of the Corporate Social Responsibility of the Environment, Social and Governance Institute of Ghana, Dr. Eugene Owusu, Presidential Advisor on the SDGs, lamented that Ghana's progress towards its envisioned goals has been hindered by the impacts of COVID-19 and the global Russia-Ukraine conflict.
Now, the Chief Executive Officer of the John Ejekum Foundation, Professor Bafo Ajimendia, has called upon the current Auditor General Johnson Nukiamwa Esiedu to conduct a comprehensive audit of all public projects, particularly in the road sector. He contends that the prevalent issue of poor road quality is a result of corruption stemming from collusion between road contractors and high-ranking officials. Expressing his concerns during the launch of the book Corruption in Ghana, The Musings of a Village Boy, authored by anti-corruption advocate Vices Azim, Professor Ajimendia emphasized the need for thorough audits of government projects to combat corruption.
When they are given a contract to say put 6 inches of asphalt on the road, it may end up having just 1 inch. So where are all the inches they've chopped in before the construction? And perhaps yours is even worse because they didn't construct at all. But where they have constructed, we see them. That's why quite often the roads that we spend millions, borrowed money to build, in 2 years after 2 heavy rain falls, the road gets washed away. And nobody is talking about that. It's a veritable source of corruption in this country by high officials in cahoot with road constructors. So we should call on the incumbent Auditor General to quickly institute audit of public projects, buildings, and roads in particular.
Professor Ajimendua further called for a 2-year moratorium to be placed on the issuance of mining licenses, arguing that contracts are signed in secrecy.
And I think, for me, the government today or any next government coming in should place a 2-year moratorium on licensing for mining so that the nation as a whole can reflect on what we do with our natural resources. It's unacceptable for a government and one individual or two people going somewhere to sign a document committing all of us for 50 years or more to an agreement, a contract that is in play. So I think regarding contracts, I've said enough that all government contracts with a value, this will be a proposition that all government contracts with a value of 5 million or more should be subject to an independent review. It should be subjected to independent review. Independent body of experts and others who can help us to retain the wealth in the country.
Professor Ajimendua is Chief Executive Officer of the John Ejikunkufo Foundation. Meanwhile, anti-corruption crusader Vitus Azim has criticized President Akufo-Addo for exonerating appointees caught up in alleged acts of corruption.
And he has continued to give strong verbal indications. He's not doing anything physical. There's nothing on the ground. He's even worse by sort of always trying to exonerate some of his appointees from allegations that he has not even investigated. He doesn't want to even... I mean, the best thing as a president is to call the president and find out what has happened. If there's a need to set up a committee to investigate. But it's always about the first person to come and clear the president, and that's why it's called a clearing house. So as for the president, I don't think he's interested in fighting corruption, apart from using it for political gain.
Vitus Azim is an anti-corruption crusader.
Now, Wilma, the National Democratic Congress, NDC, suspended one of its members in the Abuakwa North constituency, and his name is Edgar Asamoah Boateng. He had sought court injunction against the primaries in the constituency. So on that grounds, he was suspended. Now, Mr. Edgar Asamoah Boateng has released a letter rendering an unqualified apology to the party. In the letter, he says, I wish to render to the party, the flag bearer, the national chairman, and the National Executive Council an unqualified apology for instituting legal action against the party. It has come to my attention that my action caused significant distress to the party. My action was as a result of the failure to obtain redress from the party over certain acts being perpetrated by some constituency executives of the Abuakwa North constituency, which, if not checked, would result in dire consequences for a party, even though various complaints and petitions had been sent to the various levels of the grievances resolution channels of the party. I immediately discontinued the suit when I was assured by some national, regional, and constituency executives that my concerns and that of other members in Abuakwa North would be addressed expeditiously. In the end, the party was able to carry out the business for which my legal action sought to prevent. Thank you for your usual consideration. This is signed by Edgar Asamoah Boateng.
Right, now it's a day more to Ghana's largest trade fair, the This is Ghana exhibition organized by Citi FM and Citi TV. The event, spanning 2 days, is set to take place on Saturday, August 26 and Sunday, August 27 at the forecourt of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. This exhibition offers a vital platform for local, small and medium enterprises, startups, homegrown businesses, innovative ventures and indigenous corporate entities to showcase their diverse range of products and services to potential buyers and prospective investors. Ahead of the event, several exhibitors who will be proudly displaying their indigenous products share their goals and aspirations with Citi News, shedding light on what they hope to achieve through the remarkable showcase.
And services that help you not to be stuck in executing your ideas into products. You've come to find out more players in the industry. As a business, you don't stand alone, and people support you, people partner, and you can leverage on other people's strengths. And then some customers deal with businesses they don't meet, so it's an opportunity for them to meet us in person and build a brand loyalty. Yeah, and also to make some more sales. Yeah.
You had a representative of DLM Fashion Displays who will be exhibiting their products and services come this Saturday and Sunday. Now, the This Is Ghana exhibition, powered by Citi TV and Citi FM and proudly sponsored by MTN Momo, Nalo Solutions, Pan-African Savings and Loans, SNV Ghana, and EK Brand Consult. For more inquiries on this, you can contact 0205 973 973 to register. The number again, 0205 973 973.
The National Association of Graduate Teachers, NAGRAT, has issued a stern warning that it will not acknowledge any individual who does not have a background in education as a suitable authority to oversee teachers' welfare. This announcement comes as 3 teacher unions recently initiated a strike action to demand the removal of Dr. Eric Nkansa, a banker, from his position as the Director General of the Ghana Education Service. The teacher unions had given the government an ultimatum to revoke Dr. Nkansa's appointment during the launch of the 2023 Ghana Teacher Prize. NAGRAT's President Angel Kabunu says the union will oppose such appointments in the future.
We will quickly put this before the Honorable Minister to see why people think they cannot belong to this fraternity, but have the impetus to superintend over we those who belong to this fraternity. You either belong to us or go and join whoever you want to go and join. The next time a similar statement, we will be very emphatic that we will not work with anybody who does not want to be part of this fraternity. I can't go to the hospital to superintend over the work of the medical doctor or the nurses.
President of the National Association of Graduate Teachers, NAGRAT, Angel Kabunu.
Now, the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, has reported a successful outcome from its nationwide VAT compliance campaign, generating around 500 million cedis. This year, the GRA initiated a tax compliance initiative targeting businesses that neglect to levy VAT. Speaking at the 11th Annual Tax Conference in Accra, Amishadai Owusu-Amwa, the Commissioner General of GRA, highlighted a substantial increase in VAT compliance as a result of these efforts.
It will amaze you to see that we introduced it on 6th of June. By the 30th of July, we've had 3,600 enterprises. That is in 2 months, less than 2 months. These are people or enterprises who have been importing into the country for years. And until we said that if you are not registered for VAT, you cannot clear your goods. In 2 months, 3,600 enterprises registered.
You heard the Commissioner General of GRA, Amishadai Owusu-Amwa. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News live from our studios at Adabraka in Accra. Now, some stories we've been bringing you so far. Former Finance Minister Dr. Kwabena Duffuor, he's calling for the electronic transfer levy to be scrapped as it's not raking in the expected revenue. Also, family of a man alleged to have died in police custody earlier this month, they are demanding justice, and the Ghana East Municipal Assembly, they have moved in to fix deteriorating Agboba Causeway down roads in response to concerns raised by residents. And it's less than 48 hours to the biggest trade fair, Citi FM and Citi TV's This Is Ghana exhibition, scheduled for August 26 and 27. We heard from some exhibitors on their expectations of the weekend. Now, the news has also been live across the country on a number of affiliate stations. In the Western region, we're live on Adrimpa 100.7 FM in Takwa and Beach 105.5 FM in Takrady. In the Bono region, we're on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani. In the Ashanti region, we're on Adrimpa 99.9 FM in Nkarie. In the Volta region, we're on Heritage 107.3 FM in Hohoe and Freedom 88.1 FM in Sugakope. Well, that's all time would allow us for on today's edition of the Citi Prime News, live from our studios at Adabraka in Accra. For more news, you can log on to our website, citynewsroom.com. I am Wilma Obobi Sakoman.
And I am Caleb Kuda.
Up next is the afternoon's edition of the Citi Business News. Do stay tuned. Many thanks for doing the listening and do have a good afternoon.
Citi 97.3.